Hello, my name is Zach Anderson with Blue Peak Realty, and welcome to the introduction video of property management and what to know to get started. A little bit about myself. I've managed over, I don't know, probably 150 units at this point. I've been with Blue Peak for 3 years, and so I know a little bit about what to do right, and I know definitely what to do wrong. Uh, when I started taking on units, I kind of was learning things by the fly and how to set up systems, and uh, that's kind of the whole purpose of this video is so that you don't have to do that. Of course, myself and Kurt will be available for anything that you guys need as far as questions. But having some of this stuff set up in place before you take your first units is not a terrible idea. In fact, it's probably going to make your job a lot easier starting off. And the less stress you have, the better you're going to do getting out of the gate. So, this isn't a video to teach you everything about property management. I mean, that's just impossible. It's just a few items of topics and things to cover, so you can just kind of get a head start on understanding what to expect, what best apps and different technologies to help your job, and some of our standard procedures on how we take care of tenants and owners. So anyway, the first thing that we're going to talk about is the portal. Now the portal looks something like this. This will be sent to you by Kurt, and it is basically every property that we currently have in management for Blue Peak Realty for all of our owners. This is where we log rents, where we log expenses, and you can see your owner draws, net profit, etc. You're going to probably be looking at this for the first 7 to 10 days of every month, and an owner may have you pop your head in here to look at something from time to time. Now, it's important to understand that this is for your eyes and your eyes only. When you receive this link, what you are going to do is you are going to open it up in your browser, and then you are going to go ahead and bookmark it. I have mine at my top toolbar because you use it so often. You're going to want to do that, but definitely bookmark it so you have it, but do not send screenshots or the login or link to any owners or tenants. That is, we have other owners and tenants information in here. So, in fact, that actually segues me into the next thing I wanted to talk about, which is the owner portal. They have one too. The only difference is let's say for this property down here, 1730 Lagoon Circle, and I'm using that as a reference because I just got it rented, and it's a single family, so it's easy to explain. This owner will have an owner portal. At this property, all of this here will be in that owner portal, minus all of these other properties. So it's just their portal, their properties, their information. Now, you're probably going to get an owner from time to time that is stubborn and doesn't want to open its management portal and just wants you to tell him where he's at from his portal. I would I'd be aware of doing that, just because once the habit starts, they're just going to continue to keep asking you to update them. Now, it's not a big deal if they're in a pinch or something. We're here to help them. That's our ultimate goal. But getting them updates from here when they have the same thing, they'll just keep doing that. We want them to use their owner portal. So when you start getting clients in, this is all of this will make sense towards the end of all of these videos, which I am doing to kind of break down steps to make things easier for you. But when you get a owner first property, what they're going to do after signing the property management agreement, after we get everything listed, they're going to get their owner portal. How you have them log into that, they go to Blue Peak Realty, go to client login. It will take them to the WC Equity Group, and they're going to register. Once they register, they will have exactly what you have right here for them to reference. Now, as far as the communication with the owner, it's it's going to vary between, each owner. Some are going to be a little bit hands-on and a little more high maintenance than the others. Some are just going to want you to, update them when rent's in, send them money, don't talk to them again, unless there's an emergency, of course. Some things to expect with the owner portal. If for whatever reason, and this rarely happens, they usually just don't refresh their icon, or their browser, or they just simply don't go in and look at it. But a lot of them will say it's not updated. If for whatever reason that's the case, shoot me or Kurt, mainly Kurt because he has more access to the owner portal. Send him an email, say, hey, is this updated on this side? And you'll be able to, confirm or deny whether it's been entered on their end, and we can either get it entered or just say, look, it's entered. You need to refresh your browser, whatever the case is. As far as we also have for receipts on expenses. So here, right on this property, it's a newer management contract. We have repairs, cleaning service invoices. We get receipts for those as the property manager. So when we're setting up for the repairs and the repairs have been completed, we're going to get the receipt. It's very important that you send that receipt directly to Kurt. And that's assuming he's not already the one putting the card down on it. But send that to him for logging, because what's going to happen is he's going to log it over here in the management portal. Now you're going to get from owners often as well saying, hey, I didn't get this invoice, didn't get this receipt. Well, 9 times out of 10, they are in the management portal. There's a little drop-down menu that they can click for receipts and invoices to kind of reference that expense. So usually just tell them, hey, check your owner portal. Should be in there. If it's not, get back with me and I will discuss with the office. So that is it for owner and owner portals. Let's move on to let's start with locating contractor and getting a system in place before you start managing. So I like to do it this way. So when I'm going into a new city, now chances are if you're managing, you're going to be managing either directly in your own city, or you're going to be like I did and just manage wherever money comes your way. And truthfully, if you want to grow big, that's what you're going to have to do. But that's totally up to you on how far you want to go out of where you're currently located. But regardless, if it's, let's say you're a Tampa agent and you are only selecting properties to manage that are in Tampa, you're still going to want to have things in place as far as contractors are concerned before you take on properties. Reason for that is because you just want to have all your ducks in a row. So when a call for repair comes in, you're not shuffling around and calling a million contractors and trying to get it done. You already have your guys. You know who's going to go out and do it. And that ultimately will lead to the tenant being happier, the repair getting taken care of, and the owner's trust in you to get things done on a timely manner. So really what you're going to need is you're going to need HVAC guys, you need plumbers, electricians, pest control services, lawn maintenance, and a general handyman. Now, if you're in Tampa, Orlando, or Jacksonville, we have a service that we use heavily, which is Homee. That's HOMEE. This is just an app. Download it on your phone. You will put the company that you're in reference with and open an account, and then all you have to do is type in the address, the repair service needed, and then write a little note or add a picture of the issue, and they will send out a contractor if you're in those 3 cities. If you're in another city in between those, like for instance, my home office is in Ocala, Florida, I have a hard time using Homee around here and other small cities surrounding those big cities, but that's just because it's a company, I think it's only been around for 5 years. They don't have the complete contractor coverage yet for those smaller areas, but they're getting there. They're growing. So, but if you're in Tampa, Orlando, or Jacksonville, definitely use Homee first always, because they're usually the fastest. Now, however, if you get a call in for a contractor that is, or a repair that is a little bit later in the afternoon or even sometimes at night, which is rare, but it does happen. Homey may not be able to find you a contractor to go out there, which is why I would urge you to go ahead and find one or two companies in these categories: HVAC, plumbers, electricians, pest services, lawn maintenance, and handyman. Have one to two of those companies that you can call and make sure, especially with plumbers and electricians, find one of them that is 24 hours. Okay? So what you're going to do is, in your city, you're just going to go into Google and type in handyman. You're going to type in, HVAC. You're going to type in plumbers, and you're going to call these lists. I mean, just in Tampa alone, I can go to Tampa, Florida, plumbers, and boom. I mean, you're going to have quite a bit to choose from. Call all of them, until you find two that you really like. As far as plumbers are concerned, if you're in a big city, smaller cities, they've been getting rid of for whatever reason. But for 24-hour service, keep in mind, this is very expensive compared to regular daytime plumbing services. But if you get a leak in the middle of the night and you need it taken care of right away, you're going to go to Roto-Rooter, and let's say Tampa, Florida, and there's the phone number. Right, where'd it go? There you go. Call, it'll pull up the phone number. Phone number's right there, and they will go at any time of the evening. Does not matter. Just keep in mind, it is expensive. So I try to avoid this as much as possible, but I have used them in the past, and they've really set me out of a bind. I had a plumbing leak one time on Memorial Day. No plumbers were working at all. Literally, I called even out of my own network. I called everyone in the city. No one would go do it. Roto-Rooter did, and if they hadn't, there would have been an extreme amount of work and damage caused by that leak that would have superseded the initial payment to the plumber anyway. So keep Roto-Rooter's number saved in your phone, and that way, just in case something happens, you have it. Now, moving on to apps that I like to use. Keep in mind, this is just an intro video. I'm going over a few things, and you'll be able to put this system in place how you see fit. Apps that I like to use for renting, as far as beginning, just starting out and understanding the market. Rentometer is not the best, but it's going to get you very close. And I have proof here. Rentometer for Lagoon Circle in Bartow, Florida. Analyze the address. You're going to put the beds, baths in. All right, so it'll give you the average of 1446, the median's 1512, and then on the high is 1710. And I will tell you, some cities aren't as accurate with Rentometer, some are. This one in particular was right on the money with the median because I rented it for 1500. I could have rented it probably for a little bit more. However, it was kind of urgent that we got it rented quickly for the refinance, so we went ahead with 1500, and that was it. But if just starting out, understanding the markets, get an idea from Rentometer, and then go to Zillow. I'll pull this up and show you how I do this. Go to Zillow, go to rent. Type in Bartow, Florida, and get an idea after you have your median already for either evidence of renting it for more or evidence that we're probably going to land somewhere lower. That way you can set the expectations to the owner of what we're looking at for rent. I always try to push the market. If the market for mine shows $900, I'm putting it out for $950 to $1,000 if we've already rented it. The reason is I'm trying to get my client the most bang for their buck, and I usually, since I specialize in value adds, we're going to be refinancing after. So $100 on a cap is quite a bit more in the final evaluation. So I always try to push the market a little bit. Even if you wanted to just put on, if let's say your market research came to 900 per the unit that you're renting, and you wanted to push it a little bit, but not too much, just bump it up $25 and see if you can get a qualified tenant at that price range. So Rentometer, go ahead and save it. And even if you wanted to practice, if you don't have any units yet, just start putting in addresses and then start investigating the area to see if you can pinpoint a good solid price point for that unit. My second favorite technology for property management is absolutely Answer Connect. Answer Connect is a service that will answer your tenants' phone calls 24/7. And generally I use them just for repair phone calls. So what I did when I was heavily managing, I would send out a notice to each tenant, or usually I'd put it in the welcome packet if it was a new tenant, stating that all emergency repairs need to call this number. That way they're not blowing me up. What happens is I get a text on my phone and an alert in the app showing what this tenant needs. That way I can call a repair guy, already have it scheduled before calling the tenant back and explaining, hey, got a tenant, we're dispatching, or got a contractor, we're dispatching now, and he's on the way, I'll be there in 30 minutes. This is kind of what the portal looks like. They'll tell you the call type, the tenant's name, number. Usually they'll put the unit number there, and then repair issue. The ceiling is leaking all over the floor. Please call back. I'm going to call back, but I'm going to get a contractor on the phone first. Get them scheduled. That way when I call the tenant back, she's not angry at me because I haven't even called a contractor yet, and I'm just calling her back to confirm what she told my answering service. When they call this service, they are calling, quote unquote, a Blue Peak assistant of mine. So really great service. I believe I was paying $97 a month. There may be some better options out there, maybe cheaper, more expensive. I don't know. At the time I did my research and I made a decision, this was the best option for me. But you really don't need this until you get probably like 50 units or so. Then you're going to need some assistance for sure on answering phone calls. But just so you have this, go ahead and bookmark it. That way when you do start intaking a lot more units, you have some assistance and can kind of streamline your system for keeping tenants happy and also not completely stressing you out on a day-to-day. All right. Now that's going to kind of conclude it for the intro part of this video. I just wanted to cover a few topics of how, what to expect on getting some systems in place before you start taking on units. I took on units and kind of learned all of this streamline. I had Kurt, of course, if I had a question, answer it, but it was all on the fly. So having this system in place, just these few items, is going to benefit you immensely into incorporating new tenants. Where you're going to market your leads and your units and all of that stuff, I'm gonna do that on another video. But thanks for watching. Good luck to you. If you have any questions, of course, you can reach out to me, email me, call me, or go ahead and email Kurt. And I'll see you on the next one.